Chaos had erupted on that stage when gospel superstar Deitrick Haddon suddenly struggled during his performance. What was supposed to be a night of joy, music, and celebration quickly turned into confusion and panic. Fans who had come from different states excited to see him live could not believe what they were witnessing. You won't believe, in just a few seconds, the whole atmosphere changed from cheers and claps to fear and prayers. Hayden, who always carried himself with unmatched energy, began moving slower, holding his sag, and his voice that usually filled arenas with power started to weaken. At first, some people thought he was adding drama to his performance, maybe pausing to build suspense as he often did. But here's the shocking part. His pause was not part of the show. He was in visible struggle, and before long, security rushed onto the stage. The crowd fell into silence, their joy turning into shock. Many fans could not understand what was happening. This is how an ordinary concert turned into a memory that people would never forget. Security guided him carefully toward the exit, but some eyewitnesses even claimed that he was carried for a short distance because his body seemed too weak to handle itself. The audience gasped, some cried out loud, while others began to pray right where they stood. Phones were raised instantly, and in seconds, the clip started circulating across social media. But here is where it gets interesting, because as soon as the videos spread online, thousands of people began sharing their thoughts. Some believed he had collapsed from exhaustion. Others feared something far more dangerous had happened on stage. Inside the arena, tension built like never before. The lights dimmed, the band stopped, and the joyful noise that had filled the place just minutes earlier was replaced with whispers of fear. Fans hugged each other, some shed tears, and others kept repeating prayers. It was a heartbreaking sight because no one came expecting this. What makes this story different? It wasn't only a health scare, it was unfolding in front of thousands, recorded by hundreds, and discussed by millions within hours. This moment became more than just a concert. It became the center of controversy. People wondered, was this a simple case of fatigue or something much more alarming? Backstage reports suggested urgency everywhere. Staff rushed to bring water, paramedics were called in, and insiders claimed he looked pale and disoriented. Some even whispered that he had been struggling for weeks before this night, but had chosen to keep pushing himself to perform. The craziest part was that no official word came immediately, which made the situation even more suspicious. Fans were waiting, desperate for an answer, while social media spread panic faster than the team could control it. Destiny took an unexpected turn that night, and everyone knew something serious had happened. But no one was ready for the wave of speculation and confusion that followed. Fans in the arena were left standing in silence, still trying to understand what they had just seen. Many had tears in their eyes, while others whispered in disbelief. Outside of the stage area, the noise of panic began to grow louder as clips of Deitrick Haddon being carried away spread like wildfire across social media. You won't believe how fast those videos reached thousands of people beyond the concert hall, sparking confusion and endless questions. Within minutes, hashtags connected to his name were trending, and comments ranged from worry to wild theories. Let me tell you, the internet was divided. Some were convinced it was just exhaustion. Others claimed it was the sign of a deeper health problem that had been hidden from the public. Behind the curtains, the situation was tense. Paramedics rushed to check him, staff members tried to calm each other, and insiders later revealed that he appeared pale, weak, and even struggled to speak clearly. This is how the backstage scene turned into a storm of urgency, with his team desperate to stabilize him before making any announcement. But here's the shocking part. Those who were backstage didn't all agree on what was happening. Some claimed he was simply dehydrated, others said it was high blood pressure, and a few even suggested his schedule had been too heavy for weeks. This is where it gets interesting because those mixed stories added fuel to the fire. Fans outside the hall demanded answers, but his silence only made the mystery worse. Meanwhile, gospel leaders and artists started posting online, asking everyone to pray. Support poured in, but the confusion only deepened when conflicting statements began to spread. What makes this story different? It wasn't only about his health anymore, it became about whether the truth was being hidden. Some fans even accused the team of covering up the real situation, saying they didn't want the public to know how serious it really was. The craziest part was that while the gospel community showed love, they also whispered doubts. Was this just exhaustion or something that could endanger his career forever? As time passed, fans outside the arena began chanting prayers in unison. Some cried openly, others clung to hope, and many said it felt like the longest wait of their lives. Destiny took an unexpected turn that night, and the more silence there was from his official team, the more the crowd and the world began to suspect that this was not just a small health scare. The tension had built to the point where everyone waited desperately for a single official word that could either calm their fears or confirm their worst thoughts. When the first official statement finally came out, it was supposed to calm everyone down, but instead it raised even more questions. His management released a short message saying Deitrick Haddon had suffered a sudden health complication, but was now under medical care and in stable condition. You won't believe how fast that message spread. But here's the shocking part. It left out all the important details. No one said what exactly happened. No one explained if it was serious or temporary, and no one mentioned how long his recovery might take. This is where it gets interesting because instead of bringing peace to fans, the vague words only created more doubt. People began to analyze every single word, searching for hidden meaning. Was sudden health complication just another way of avoiding the truth? Let me tell you, the gospel community was now split in two. Some people took comfort in the assurance that he was stable and resting, while others were convinced that the truth was being kept from them. What makes this story different? Deitrick was always active on social media, always posting updates, prayers, and messages. But this time, he went completely silent. His absence from his usual platforms made fans fear the worst. The craziest part was that even insiders could not agree. Some close sources claimed he would be back on stage in no time, while others whispered that doctors had advised him to slow down and cut back on performances. Destiny took an unexpected turn when these contradictions began to dominate headlines, leaving fans more confused than ever. Rumors spread faster than facts. Some believed he had been ignoring signs of stress for months. Others said he had been overworking himself with nonstop concerts, ministry commitments, and travel. There were even people who suggested that his collapse had been coming for a long time, but no one had taken it seriously until now. Meanwhile, church leaders, fellow artists, and choirs flooded social media with messages of prayer and encouragement, while secretly wondering whether his career was about to change forever. This is how a single night turned into a nationwide storm of debate, with fans stuck between hope and worry, unsure of what to believe. The silence from Deitrick himself was the heaviest part of it all. The man who always spoke directly to his fans had suddenly gone quiet, and that silence screamed louder than any rumor. People waited for his voice, his confirmation, his explanation, but instead they were left hanging, with more speculation building every single hour. The story had now become bigger than a health scare. It had become a mystery, one that everyone wanted solved. After days of silence and endless speculation, Deitrick Haddon finally broke his silence, and this moment changed everything. In a heartfelt video, he appeared calm but clearly emotional, looking into the camera with gratitude in his eyes. You won't believe the reaction. Within minutes, his message spread everywhere. Let me tell you, fans had been waiting desperately for his voice, and when he finally spoke, it felt like the gospel world held its breath. He thanked everyone for their prayers, love, and support, admitting that the outpouring of concern had touched him deeply. But here is the shocking part. While he confirmed that he had suffered a sudden health complication, he still chose not to reveal exact details, leaving many wondering what really happened behind the scenes. This is where it gets interesting because instead of just addressing his health, Hayden turned his message into something more personal and spiritual. He spoke about the importance of listening to your body, of resting when it is needed, and of honoring the life and health God has given you. What makes this story different? He reminded his fans that even though he loved performing, he had to slow down, take care of himself, and find balance between his calling and his well-being. The craziest part was that while fans felt relieved to see him alive and smiling, his words hinted at a possible change in his career, that maybe the days of constant touring and nonstop performances were coming to an end. Destiny took an unexpected turn once again, because what started as a health scare on stage was now shaping up to be a turning point in his life and ministry. Fans flooded the internet with comments, sharing their relief but also their fears. Many wrote about how his music had changed their lives, how his words had inspired them in their hardest times, and how seeing him in such a vulnerable state reminded them that even icons are human. Churches prayed publicly for his recovery, choirs dedicated songs to him, and gospel artists rallied around him with messages of love and encouragement. This was not just about one man's health anymore. It had become a collective moment of unity, reflection, and faith across the gospel world. By the end of his video, Hayden gave a gentle smile and assured everyone that he was not done yet, but he was learning to pace himself and put his health first. His words carried both relief and warning. That passion is powerful, but without balance, it can break even the strongest. For fans, it was a moment of both hope and realization. This story had started with panic and fear, but it ended with a reminder that life is fragile, health is precious, and even the brightest stars need time to rest. And while questions about his future performances remain, one thing was certain. The gospel community would never forget the night Deitrick Haddon's destiny took an unexpected turn.